Hi there. Hey, just wanted to show you guys this. I think I'm on a final run of the TRivots, and I just wanted to go through some of the settings here. So we put this look back period on here only because of time. It was really taking a long time to look back many days, so we just this is more for day trading, so we just did that. Obviously you could do, different things here. I'm only going to use the second one. So this first one here is a little lighter, a little smaller, and the second one is a little thicker in lines. So you could differentiate if you want to plot that one instead of that one, or plot them both. It doesn't matter. But I'm just, for this sake of this, I'm only going to use the data series B. So in this case, I'm going to use the Ninja Renko. Now, if you notice, I'm on a 13.2 chart, but I'm going to be pulling the TRivots from a 34.5 chart. And if I wanted to use a minute chart, then this would be the field for there for like a 5 minutes. And so what this is, there's three phases in here. So the very first phase is it's nothing more than a pivot for those of you who have not been around and know what's going on. They're basically nothing more than pivots. There's the Woody's pivots, the Ninja pivots, there's Fibonacci pivots, there's all kinds of pivot indicators out there, but I wanted a little tweak to it. And so I wanted to have them stay around until they actually broke. And then once they broke, I want them to stay around a little bit, but not too much longer because they're broke. So one of the guys in the room said, it was actually Colin that came up and says, well, then if you're going to tweak it, you should call it TRivots, since everybody else has got their name on it. So I kind of like that idea. So that's how TRivots came along. But it's nothing more than pivots in any event. So what we have here in phase one is the support and resistance. So basically when it goes and creates a pivot, let's say like right here, and goes up, it will plot a line right there at that area. And then when it goes up, and now you could change these, but I have it set for 20 ticks. So if it goes up 20 ticks, well, it's already going to be blue because it's going up. But let's say it goes down 20 ticks. If it goes down 20 ticks, then it's going to switch to a color change. So right now, this blue right here would stay there because the price is above it. And it would stay up here, and it would stay blue until it comes back down and breaks it. And then it would become a broken dashed line instead of a solid line. But in this case, let's say it goes up here, it stays solid, it's gonna stay there and stay there and stay there. So let's say this one was a red one from up here, and you could see it broke here. So it broke, maybe it didn't go 20, so it's still gonna stay red. Now, if it went up 20 ticks, it would change to blue and it would change support, like support turns into resistance, resistance turns into support kind of situation. So it would stay, but in this case, obviously that's, 20 ticks. So this would then turn to a blue color. And if it got back down underneath by 20 ticks, it would turn back down to red. And it would do that for a few cycles. And after that, it's like, okay, this is wishy-washy, so we'll terminate it. Once it hits, now I'm going to change these defaults, but right now it's set for 34 ticks. So 34 ticks is that it will stop terminating. So what happens on the very first line, it's going to be solid. It's going to stay there. Once it's broken, it'll change colors. Broken by 20 ticks, that is. It'll change colors, and it'll stay that color for 34 ticks in one of the other directions. So if it continues to go another 14 more ticks, phase two will be terminated. Now it changes from solid to dotted because it's in phase two. So it's a broken line. So it's been broken. The colors change, but it's been broken for an additional 14 ticks. I'll probably up that a little bit more. But needless to say, it's going to stay there for another 14 ticks until it breaches that 34 ticks, and then phase two is over. Now phase three is just the tail end of it. So you could put 0 if you want to be done with it at that point. I kind of like to see it hanging around a little bit more. So the orange again are all dashed now because they're broken. An orange dashed line is going to say, hey, it was a line, it's broken, and I'm on the termination phase of it, so we're going to be fizzling off here in a little bit, 20 more bars. And this counts by bars, not ticks. And these are all by ticks, and this one here is bars, and it will terminate it off. Now, if you want to keep it for forever and ever, I wouldn't suggest doing that, but you know, you could do that and it'll stay for a whole bunch of bars, but then there'd be lines everywhere for you. You could change the colors. Now these, the Series A is a, you know, lighter and they're smaller in emphasis, and the B series is a little thicker, and you could change the thickness of these, but by default this one's a little smaller and this one's a little bigger. What I've been doing with the minute charts when I've been playing with this, I've been making those white and black, black for the ground and white for the cloud. So I make that white and black here, but you could do your own colors, but these are the defaults. So let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to use this one here. So we're pulling the TRivots or pivots from a 34.5, and this is what they're going to look like. So you could tell right now instantly that these are going to be resistance from way back yonder, and these have now been broken. Now you could tell they're broken recently, because if they had been broken way back here, then they would have probably fizzled out by now, and the termination bar would have, you know, looked like this, and you might not even see it anymore. So they're long overdue. But this one just broke, so it turned from solid to dash, and this one here, you can see how it, you know, it went above it, so it's broken, and now it's blue, and now we're in the termination phase of it. And this one down here has not been broken, so we're basically in this little range right here. And if you're wondering why this didn't come down all the way, and I'll show you. So this one is right here. Now again, it's a 34.5, and the reason why it's plotting here is because the bar didn't close until way up here. And then once it created, you know, the bar close, which was right, I guess right here, at the bar close, then it formed and it started plotting the 34.5. So if you're wondering why it doesn't come over another inch on the smaller chart, is because there's multiple bars in there, and it's not until it actually closes. So that's that. So let me get rid of this. And what else is there? So you can see that these have already been breached one way or the other. They kind of toggled back and forth. And now as far as the lines go, you know, you could change these if you want to make them, you know, hang out a little bit longer, or make them smaller. If you want to break it by, you know, if they're broken by one tick, you could just put one tick in the settings, and as soon as it gets to one tick, it'll be broken, and that'll be it. You can kind of see we're in this range right here. Here's some areas of resistance that might cause you some hiccups, but needless to say, they are already broken. So now if I came back in here and added, let's use this chart for instance. Now this one is, let's go back here to Ninja Renko. I'll do the 13.2 because that's the actual chart that I'm on right here. And I'll use the same numbers, and I'll throw that one on. Or just for differentiation, let me turn this one off, and then I will show you. Now we're only looking at the 13.2 chart. Okay, now you can see obviously with the 13.2, there's going to be a lot more of them because they're just smaller. But you could still see the area that we're kind of in. So I think the 13.2 is a little bit too small. I use the 13.2 for NASDAQ just for price movement, but to base it on you know, swings, that would really be a little bit too much. So let's turn that one off, and let's go to, and we got 5 minute, and we'll use the same numbers here, I guess. Let's see what this does. Well, the market's closed right now, but if I put up a minute chart, I'll do that. Hold on. All right, so here's our 5 minute chart. You can see these lines here, and then we're here. I don't really work with 5 minute. I don't work with minute charts at all very much. I do use a little bit, but not a lot. So I'm not as versed on that, but I know a couple of you guys are, so you could play around with that. But anyway, so right now I just want to kind of beta this here a little bit and kind of get some ideas and some issues and thoughts and feedbacks and things like that. So again, here's phase 1 right here. Here's phase 1 that's been broken, and here's phase 2, and here's the end of phase 2 because it's reached my criteria. And now here's a termination, and it's all broken, and it's going to phase off in a little bit. Oh, and if you're wondering why they keep going, right here as far as painting, I have this right here as my border. And if you come this way, you can see my border stays there. So they're going to stay there, just the way it draws. So anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks. Make some comments in there, and, you know, thumbs up, whatever, subscribe, I don't know, all that business. If you have any questions, you know how to find me. All right, thanks. Bye.